I don't think he heard. Next, another key member of the production team, Carol Barbie.
Depending on the scenario. I'd love to start off by just saying, look what you've done. It's unbelievable, and we can't be happier, and we can't, there's no way we can thank you enough. We're just going to make this show better and better, and thanks.
Yeah. It's not often cancellation is the best news a show can ever get, but you know, cancellation is a blessing in a way, because it really brought people out.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually our dirty little secret. We're better off that we got canceled. I mean, I could have done without those bad 4 days, but
such a blessing. Thank you so much.
I was in my garage, and actually we share a manager, same manager, and she called and said that Business Affairs had called, which is, you know, it's official when lawyers get involved, and I guess the call had actually come in for you, was the first one, and I was like, and there was no call for me after Business Affairs.
Yeah, there's some news in that too, I've got to tell you.
Well,
there's some news from that for you. Apparently Jake, yes, now you're here now.
It's Skeet may be coming back.
Well, we had breakfast that morning.
Yeah, we had breakfast that morning. I said, there's rumblings we may be coming back. Just keep this between us. Cut to Skeet on a conference call with Lenny. Who else? You were like Kenny.
Brad Byer. I got woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning, London time, with my wife standing over me saying, Skeet's on the phone. I was like, what was he doing on the phone? She's going, I know. And I went, okay. And then I picked up the phone and I heard Skeet's voice kind of saying, we're back, buddy. And then we just screamed like little girls. For about 15 minutes.
I think we were together. You and I were together when we got the call. Carol called.
And then there you are in hot weather in 3 layers and toting weapons. But still, there's a palpable glee from the cast doing stuff like that.
Was it fun for you too? You didn't get as much with the guns, but was it still kind of fun to be?
Yeah, it was miserable. No, I had a ball. I had so much fun. I love shooting guns. And
Come Back and Reformed. It really is the biggest character, I think, in the 2nd season.
And so giving, and we really miss him. He's you know, the first scene we shot was the scene where we're sitting down hashing out, you know, trying to get the money out of the will and stuff like that in the pilot, and from that moment forward, you could just tell there was not only a professionalism, but he combs his scripts, you know, thoroughly, and has so many questions about them and so much input about them, and it's a lot of fun to be around him, and certainly there's a lot to learn from him. So we do miss him a lot. I've had you know, at least I get to talk to him every once in a while. So
he's not really dead.
Just in case you have a ghost show.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume the plan was it's not one of those surprise deaths. Like it seemed like it was part of the arc.
The character was all.
I pretty much just tail Lenny around. He's pretty mysterious, and I try and act like him. Thank you, by the way, for enjoying the show. And I don't know. It's kind of hard to summarize how you put a character together. A lot of the work is done by our very talented writing staff, and you try and get out of the way as much as you can and let that story be the presence, you know. But I don't know. That's a large question. I'm not sure how I do any of it.
Writing staff, which is actually here today. Most of our writing staff, Robert Levine, Matt Fetterman, Steve Steyer.
Necessarily knowing the entire arc is a bit of a challenge, but they're very, you know, they keep us we're well informed, but it's, you know, it's not in text form. It's not So it's kind of hard to decipher sometimes where things are headed and how much import they should have, or if you should not really focus on one part of the story. But it's, yeah, I don't know. It's. I guess the challenge is always, finding the emotional honesty of scenes. It's, I think, what actors in general deal with on a daily basis, and it's always the same challenge, and to that extent.
I think for me,
But you also make such awesome, soulful, heroic characters, so.
Well, I think, they're kind of cut from the same cloth, people in general. I mean, one believes something that is a little bit twisted as fully as someone who believes in goodness. When I shot Scream, I had literally wrapped a movie called Touch 12 hours before, where it was, essentially the second coming of Christ, and then the next day I was this serial killer. And I enjoy them both. I like villains a little more, but I think as long as you understand what it is the character believes in and find a way to wrap your head around that, they're not that far apart. Great question.
And could I get your name card?
Can you get what? This? Yeah, sure.
No.
If anybody wants mine, they can have it.
Yeah.
You want Frank's glasses too?
I've been here all week, okay? These guys just show up.
Well, as one of the people that was here last...
It's during the day, into the interior stuff, halfway through the day, and get into the emotion, that stuff with the death, and that was pretty difficult. I have to say that the ending of 14, though, with Gerald and I, and it's one of the most special moments for me because it was so spontaneous. I don't think either of us really kind of knew. I didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't necessarily know what I was going to do, and it just sort of evolved into the emotion of that scene. And those are the welcome surprises. You try and set yourself up for, and then pray to God you have some sort of emotional content in your body for the moment. And that one, I don't know. All the scenes with him that were of that ilk, I agree. They were really, really tough, and he has such a presence that it's.
Every speech that he gave, I
Yeah,
cried.
anytime he opens his
every
mouth,
speech, I cried. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's really powerful. He's got incredible presence.
I think